Jefferson County Court at Law number 3 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number 330764. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Mickey B. Montadon II. Mr. Montadon, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Montadon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Montadon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes,
Mr. Montadon, you may put your hand up. How you doing, Mr. Montadon?
well, so
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Montadon. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, how are you doing?
great, Judge. Thank you.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Lamar Johnson. Again, Attorney Johnson, how are you doing?
Oh, well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Gertz, do you waive a record in Mr. Montadon's case?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Montadon, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that on or about February 12th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Montadon, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Montadon, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Montadon, I also have before me on this tablet, a couple of documents. The first document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Montadon, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Montadon, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the next document that I have is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Montadon, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Hold on a minute.
Correct, Judge. Thank you.
Oh, that's fine. Now, Mr. Montadon, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Montadon, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Montadon, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
Mr. Montadon, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me, States Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, Your Honor, state officer station one.
Any objections? No objections. States Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Gertz, you've advised and counseled Mr. Montadon. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Judge.
And Mr. Montadon, your attorney, Mr. Gertz has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Montadon, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of guilty in this case, the state is recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 180 days, Your Honor. We're asking that the court suspend imposing that sentence at this time and instead place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor. Require defendant to pay a $750 fine and to complete 60 hours of community service. Lastly, we're asking that the standard terms and conditions of probation include DWI education course, Your Honor, drug and alcohol analysis, and an analog device.
Okay, Mr. Montadon, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs. The total fine and court cost is $1,222. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay Jefferson County DW education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $190 a month. Mr. Montadon, will you be able to pay the $190 each month?
Yes, sir. Can I pay that just in advance, or?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Now, you also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete DW education class and have a drug and alcohol assessment. And you'll be required to install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Montadon, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Montadon, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Montadon, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney. You're going to follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Can I get your right? name and argument you're with him. Perfect. Okay, we are just gonna report to the probation office. They are on the front page, like your address and she'll just go there. Okay.
Okay, all right, you have a blessed day. Next case is clause number 329196. Case is style of the state of Texas versus Brian K. Walker. Mr. Walker, your full name is Brian K. Walker.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Walker?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Walker, you're here represented by your attorney Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Walker's case?
Judge, Mr. Johnson and I talked about it this morning, and we have all the paper discovery, but for whatever reason, we don't have the videos that we would need, body cam and dash cam in this case. We think it will be able to be resolved though, but I want to be able to look at that before I make a final recommendation to clients.
Okay. Give us,
We could have 60 days of these.
okay, give us a reset date.
Gonna be May
Okay, Mr. Walker, your case will be reset until May 8th of 2023 at 9 a.m. Your attorney, Mr. Gertz, is going to sign for your reset. Once he signs for your reset and give you a reset, you'll be free to go on your blessed day. Please stand on the 4X.